show. Today, we are going to talk about cortisol. Most women in perimenopause think they have high cortisol, and maybe they do. But the real damage is happening in the spikes and crashes that your provider never tests for. And the truth is this: a one time blood test will never show you what your cortisol is actually doing. Cortisol isn't a yes or no hormone, it's a rhythm. It's supposed to rise in the morning and it carries you through the day and settles at night so you can sleep. But during perimenopause, that rhythm becomes unstable, not because you're suddenly more stressed, or you could be, but because your hormonal control system is shifting beneath you. So here's what's really going on. Progesterone drops first thing in perimenopause, and progesterone is one of your body's natural calming hormones. It supports your nervous system, helps regulate stress, and keeps cortisol steady. So, when progesterone declines, your stress response become more sensitive, more reactive, and you might feel more anxious, or all of a sudden, you become anxious or worried about just little things. Maybe you could be more easily triggered, even if nothing in your life has changed. This creates cortisol patterns that don't feel normal at all, like low morning energy, afternoon crashes that hit like a wall, evening second winds when you should be winding down. So, when everybody's starting to fall asleep, and all of a sudden, hey, you have this gush of energy and you want to get things done. So then you stay up later at night. Also, middle of the night wake ups around 2 to 4 a.m. And you may not be able to go back to sleep right away. Maybe there's sudden waves of anxiety for no clear reason at all. You may get sugar cravings after lunch and that belly fat, that stubborn belly fat that refuses to budge. And here's the key: these issues almost never show up on a single one time cortisol reading. They hide in a pattern. So most women finally ask for testing and then they get testing ordered, but it's blood draw and at random time of the day or maybe just in the morning. Now, let me explain why this is almost useless. Cortisol changes within hours. It responds to your sleep, your meals, your stress, your environment, and your hormones. So, one isolated number cannot really represent what's happening to you in that 24-hour cycle. So, it's kind of like judging the entire weather forecast by just sticking your head out in the window for 10 seconds. And then you call it good for the whole day. It tells you nothing about the whole day. One single morning test doesn't show the 2 p.m. crash. It doesn't show the 9 p.m. evening surge, and it doesn't show the 3 a.m. spike that jolts you awake. It doesn't show the flatlined mornings or the flipped rhythms that make your weight loss nearly impossible. So women walk away being told their cortisol is normal, but they still feel exhausted, wired, moody, inflamed, foggy, anxious, or unable to sleep. And they blame themselves. They blame their lifestyle, they blame their mindset, they blame their willpower. But the truth is simple: the test was incomplete or inaccurate. The right kind of test tells a completely different story. If it's a pattern based testing like multi sample saliva or dried urine testing, it shows how your cortisol actually behaves across the whole day. It shows your cortisol awakening response. This tells you how your body starts its engine in the morning. If if this is low, you'll feel tired no matter how long you slept. It shows your midday stability. This is where many women crash, leading to irritability, cravings, brain fog, or energy dips. It shows your evening regulation. If cortisol stays high at night, you'll be tired but wired. Ever felt that way? You'll feel restless, overstimulated, or it's going to be hard to wind down. Or you might feel that it's really hard to calm down or wind down so you can sleep. And it shows your overnight rhythm. So the nighttime spikes wake you up between 2 and 4 a.m. with a racing mind, maybe a hot flash, or sudden anxiety. So with pattern testing, you can finally see where the rhythm is breaking down. You can see where your body rises, falls, overreacts, or shuts down. And once you see the pattern, the solutions become obvious. If your mornings are low, you need activation, not calming supplements or activities. If your afternoons crash, you need blood sugar and adrenal stabilizers. If your evenings spike, you need nervous system downshifting and circadian cues. If your nights are disrupted, you need cortisol regulation and sleep architecture support. So when you match the right strategy to the right pattern, everything changes. You stop guessing. You stop trying random supplements. You stop wondering what's wrong with you. You start supporting your body the way it needs support in this exact season of your life. And most women aren't struggling because they're broken or out of balance. There could be some things that are out of balance, but the struggle is because their testing was incomplete or inaccurate. Perimenopause is a season of hormonal transition. Your body isn't failing. It's giving you cues. It's giving you signals. And you're simply working with a new rhythm, and nobody taught you how to read it. So pattern-based cortisol testing is the first step toward truly understanding what your body is doing. And when you understand your rhythm, you can finally support it. If your symptoms don't match lab results, you're not imagining it. You're just not seeing the full pattern. Comment cortisol, and I'll point you toward the right type of test that actually reveals what's going on in your body.